What's up, everyone? Welcome to another District Gooner Pod. It's Steven and KP coming to you on a Sunday. We are not really ones for the instant reaction, but a lot has happened today. It felt fitting to get behind the mic as soon as possible, get these thoughts out as soon as possible. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. Just know that I can't guarantee how the flow will be. I just hope everybody enjoys the vibes. How you doing, my co-host?
Yo, howdy. I gotta say, we're going raw and uncut. That's what it sounds like. Raw and uncut. Emotional. I'd say it's an emotional day. There was some highs, there was some lows. So who knows how this one's gonna go. I think we like to think our flow is there, you know, little Kanye West, little Jay-Z. Our flow is usually cool with it, but today we might be speeding it up a little bit.
It might be a very angry pod. I'll be honest with everyone. I think I was thinking about the 7 deadly sins. I think one of them is pride, and I'm definitely feeling proud after that result. I think after that performance, the heart, the desire, the passion, the hard work. I mean, I haven't seen our players be cramping like that in a long time. So definitely feeling proud. And is hate one of the other deadly sins? I can't recall, but I'm definitely also feeling a lot of hate, big man. I am feeling the hate.
I'm going to have to fact check you on that. I'm definitely going to have to fact check you on that. I think bitter for me is the right word, like how I would be feeling. Just a little bitter. This is like after the game, I'm kind of just trying to take it all in. It's like, this is why you get kids involved in sports, you know, when they're young. Like, this is why you get a child involved with sports. As a young boy playing games, playing sports, like had some moments like this when you play tournaments and stuff. Like, it's not fair. Like, the world's not fair, right? Justice doesn't always happen. If this was a movie, Arsenal would have won that game and everything would be just and right. But that's not the way things work. Sometimes the dark side does come through and win in the real world. And that's the way this match happened. To your point, proud of the boys, man. I mean, kind of like 85 minutes in, I was like, as long as we can keep it at 2-1 to 85th minute, I was like, if they score 1 goal before then, they are going to get 2. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to get another on us. After the 85th, I was like, all right, we got our point. Now let's try to hold on to the 3. I mean, what are we? 10 seconds away probably from getting 3 points, which is crazy. But in a just world, I think we win that. But the world is not just, and you gotta earn everything. And even when it's 12v10 out there, you gotta come through, and it just didn't happen.
You do, man, and I hear you. I mean, dude, +7. Where did he even get 7 minutes in the second half to add that on? I was shocked by that. I'm looking at the 7 sins in the Bible now. It says pride, envy, wrath. You're definitely feeling my wrath. I think that's the one, dude, because sloth, the rest I don't think really apply, but I have some wrath and I'm going to unleash it on this pod, I think. And most of my wrath is going towards the refereeing, because I mean, over and over and over, we've discussed the standards of officiating in this league. Today, I think it started out 14 seconds into the game. You had question marks, right? We had our friend on the pod who said, if you're a dog, if you want to be a dog, you got to bark, I think is what he said. Guess what King Kai did, big man? He said, woof, woof, 14 seconds in. I'm like that. So I was pumped about us sort of sending those statements, but at the end of the day, man, yeah, it's an unjust world and it's an unjust result. I mean, a point is still great. I think before the game, you listen back to the preview pod, a draw would have been great, right? You would have taken a draw, but a draw like that, come on, man. Now you're just teasing.
Yeah, this is the raw and uncut, because you know tomorrow we get a night of sleep in you. You're like, yeah, no, it's a good point. Away from home, missing Odegaard, 10 men, and we got a point. Now, what's the issue is how we got that red card and then how we ended up drawing the game. It's kind of the two games we've lost points in off of red cards where the ball was kicked away after a whistle. And this one to me is not even, this one's not even close to the Declan Rice one. I think by the book, the Declan Rice one, I guess. Still don't think it's a yellow card, but like by the book, sure. This one is very reminiscent of that Van Persie red card in the Champions League versus Barcelona, which is just absolutely wild. Immediately, the cameras are cutting to him pushing him in the back, Bernardo Silva, which to me, I didn't think it was a yellow card for the foul. We just saw Erling Haaland 20 minutes earlier absolutely bomb on Saliba on a heading chance. Didn't get a yellow foul. Fair enough. So that's chance. He goes into Bernardo Silva. We know Silva's very soft. Goes down crying. So immediately the cameras and the commentators are talking about, well, he's given a yellow for the foul. Comes out. Premier League tweets, it was for kicking the ball away. Like, you gotta be kidding me. That's absolutely madness, man. Madness.
That was the word we got from the PL Match Center. As our listeners are very familiar with that X account that is just absolutely in shambles itself. And I heard them, they started the second half and the commentators were saying that, oh no, it's actually Michael Oliver himself thinks that it's because of the foul, but they need to get their story straight. So if the commentators are saying you need to get your story straight, like, it's just not looking good, man. I love that you made the shout that, yeah, Haaland did absolutely clatter into Saliba and went unpunished, which is like, I mean, the referee had just lost the game to begin with. It's +6, Steven. That yellow card is officially recorded as 45 + 8. So it's like, explain it to me, dude. Explain to me why we played a full 2 minutes extra to then see even that action happen.
100. So let's cut this into, let's do first half, second half, if you will. First half, obviously the first 10 minutes. I mean, their goal. Calafiori, welcome to the Premier League, man. Got spun out on the right wing. Got spun out. I mean, Savinho had a great, I'd say his first 25 minutes. That dude looked stellar. He was their shining star, basically. I think City's shining star by a mile. But he spun Calafiori out. And as soon as he kind of got his head up and turned, Gabriel and Saliba, kind of reminiscent of a goal against us earlier in the season, completely split. Haaland's right between them. And that's basically all she wrote. It's a good finish. I think he looked up at Raya, gave him the eyes, and just, he toe poked it into the corner. Fantastic from him. But then the resilience from Arsenal. I mean, how about that, man? I really think City was on top of us for a while, but all of a sudden, here we came creeping back into the game.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that goal went in. I was watching the game with Ron, and I told him, well, 3-1's looking kind of likely, isn't it? with the way the game started. And that's a testament to how far this team has come. Because absolutely, in the past, we go to the Etihad, we give up that early goal, and then, everyone just kind of lays down, and then it's 3 more goals after that. So there's a huge testament to the squad there. Calafiori, yeah, welcome to the league, young man. I don't know where he was going, to be honest with you. When I saw Savinho's touch, and then I saw Calafiori just jumping the other way, I was shocked by it, dude. But, these are the type of players we have now where he was so committed to making up for it. He understood what he had done, and what a way to announce yourself, right? That goal, Steven. People are saying, what an assist from Martinelli. I mean, put that in the bin. What a strike from our Italian stallion, dude.
Again, welcome to the league, I guess. He's saying that to everybody else. I'm welcome to myself. Here's my name. I mean, what a strike. That was a big moment. I don't think up until that point we had really created anything. What did you think about, obviously, I already saw some comments about Pep bitching about that, about not letting Walker get back into his position. I don't necessarily agree. What is your take on that?
Yeah, Ron kept crying about that when we were watching the game. When the goal happened, he kept saying, "Well, Walker's not in position. They took the free kick quickly, and then he just had to get back there." I didn't even really see it on the replay as to like what happened or how out of position he was. It just everything looked kind of pretty normal to me. But I guess it's part of the game. I don't know honestly what to say because Pep, I think, was complaining about how the next time they asked for the captain to go talk to the referee, we're not going to send him. It's like, dude, what happened to the rule where you can't surround the ref? Because I just watched 90 minutes, even after the game ended and it was a draw, all of your players were surrounding the ref. So you're not only sending your captain to the ref to begin with, big man. So just take a back seat for a second, all right?
I need to watch the replay. I know they always put up the game replay on Peacock, and I really haven't seen a good clip of it yet. But from comments and on the socials, what I'm understanding is we called the foul. Saka and Walker walk over. They got talked to. Walker then very lightly starts jogging back to his position and is like pointing, doing the captain role of like trying to guide players of like what to do. And as he's doing that, whistle blows. They kick it over his head. Kind of like well, we did give you time. You just didn't. You chose not to use it correctly. You didn't use your time wisely. But when you get a strike like that, don't call it back, please. Please don't call it back, because that was a beauty. And then to keep on Walker, I guess, absolutely put in a spin cycle for the second. Again, Doku on that first corner, kind of the same thing. Don't know what the game plan is to have Doku on Gabriel. Insane. Oh no, let's put Walker on him instead. Even worse performance, in my opinion. And then Ederson trying to do his best Emi Martinez reenactment of just falling down when he feels contact. No foul. Big Gabby again. Header into the net. 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we were counting Arsenal to 100 goals, we talked about the defensive contributions helping us with 20 goals. And, you know, we've seen it back to back now from our big Gabby. We've seen Calafiori now contribute to this goal, which is so funny. Graham Souness, by the way, on the commentary said, we're not sure if he meant to do that. That is the cleanest strike that I have seen. There was absolute intent in that. So Graham Souness in the bin. Big Gabby. What a baller, dude. That was probably the funniest defensive sequence I've seen. Did you see Walker he kept like punching his stomach a little bit, and then he just said, "See ya." Like, you're guarding the wrong side, bro.
Yeah. So at 2-1, and this is before the red card, I'm going to say, despite City outplaying us for a decent portion of that half, I want to say the first I'd say up until that goal, we kind of really set ourselves up. I'm talking about the first goal. That's when we really started to get into it. That was kind of a smash and grab type goal. We were not playing well up until that point. But at 2-1, Rodri had gone down. That's a huge mention for the first half. Rodri, it looks bad. I'm going to say he tore his ACL before getting any medical advice, but it just did not look good the way he was holding his knee, his face. I think he's going to be hurt for a while. He goes down. We start playing on top. At 11-11, 2-1 Arsenal, I felt really good. I felt really, really good. How about you?
Same, dude. It was kind of hard to actually hide my smile as I was watching the game next to a Manchester City man. I was so confident. I felt like we're going to half with this lead. We're going to the half with all of our players. And Rodri, I guess the one thing about your question as to like why was Doku guarding Big Gabby, I heard Ron mention this a couple of times as we were watching the game, that like Rodri is usually in the back post defensively because they do some kind of zonal marking, and that's his role, is the back post. So, you know, I'm not going to take away the impact that his injury might have had, but also, I mean, that injury, it's just muscular. Like, I don't think there was anything dirty about it. Honestly, it was a very nice shoulder from TP5. TP fucking 5, by the way. I don't want to hear anybody out here saying, "Oh, his legs are gone." Are you kidding me? What a performance from my center mid, bro.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't think there obviously was no intent in that. I actually didn't even see anybody talking mess about Partey. They're just kind of going shoulder to shoulder, and he went down. I mean, obviously, don't want to see that, but I mean, speedy recovery to the guy. That sucks. Like, that's just a bad way to go. Second game starting, and he goes down like that. Tough. But yeah. So you liked Partey's performance, huh? Big fan?
I enjoyed it, dude. I think the second half, I think Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, TP5, those three players, I have to give them so much credit. I haven't seen Kai Havertz be so tired. It was so evident. I haven't seen Declan Rice look so tired. Declan Rice looked tired, dude. He worked like a dog out there. And I'm really proud, like I said, of the midfield. I guess before we kind of get to the second half, the starting line when it came out, I think we should chat about it a little bit because Bukayo Saka finally got the armband. That was great to see. It's been J20 and Jesus these last couple of games. Is it maybe the manager playing chess games like, oh, you haven't played in a while, I'll give you this armband and you're just going to put in a 10 out of 10. He's been let down, so he just said, I'm going with Starboy for this one. But then on top of that, he said, Jurriën Timber, get out there on the right side. Benny Blanco, what we call the engine of the squad, was out of the lineup. I know you're a big Timber guy, but like, what did you make of that decision?
I think I'm not with you on this one. I was good with it. I was very good with it. I was kind of excited about him changing things up. It gives City a new look, right? It's something that, when they put out the lineup, Pep probably went into a spiral, trying to big brain it, trying to figure out what to do. But I also saw after the game, Arteta made a quote about Ben White and that he played through an injury in this game. He subbed him on with an injury. He knew he had an injury, but he's the player that will run through a brick wall for you. That's like part of the quote. That is Ben White, right? That is Ben White in a nutshell. So I'm not surprised that he didn't play if that's the case. Dude plays 90 minutes in and out. Every week he plays 90 minutes because we don't have one of our outside backs available right now, Tomiyasu, who would relieve him. The other two guys, Calafiori and Timber, have been the two exchanging minutes. But Ben White, he's been playing every week, so I'm not surprised at all. Both outside backs. I think Timber played excellent. He played a fantastic game. Whoever was out on the left, there was Doku, Grealish. I thought he played excellent. Calafiori had a few moments, I think, where he kind of maybe lacked or just wasn't. It's the first game in the league. It's his first game starting the season, no problem. But I saw a few moments from Calafiori that got me excited, man. He was bursting through the line a few times. He didn't get the ball, but it's something to look forward to. First game starting, so maybe people aren't used to it. But man, he won a few balls, passes it inside, and just he's taking off. I saw him read the back line a few times. He's not going offside. He's staying on. Like he's gonna be a player for us. So I'm not hating on the starting lineup, and I love that Saka was the captain.
Yeah, I don't think I was hating on it either. To be honest with you, I think my comment was without knowing anything about this injury that you mentioned. My comment was Benny Blanco shut down Heung-min Son. 3 days later, he shut down Lookman. So I just kind of assumed he's beat. So we're actually rotating our players. That's how I kind of looked at it. I was shocked a little bit because it was unexpected, but I don't think I was kind of against the decision. I did feel like at halftime, maybe it's time for Richie to come off. I thought it was a good half. I agree with you. I loved seeing the way he takes off. That I was telling Ron that he's one of those guys that he's on the field. He's playing, bro. He's unmissable. The way he's just involved. The headers, I think, are really good. He's very good at heading the ball to your players, like to their foot. I think that's something that just goes under the radar, especially for American supporters. you watch an MLS game, MLS players are not very great at just heading the ball to keep possession. So that aspect of it, I really appreciate. Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was all good. I was cool. Obviously, we get the red card. I guess should we chat anything more about that? Trossard, his first yellow, he was the first like official yellow, I think, in the game, because Ederson got a yellow in like the 23rd minute for dissent, maybe. But Trossard got a yellow a couple of minutes after that, where he brought down Savinho on a breakaway. So I think it's fair, the yellow card given to him. But then, like I said, if you're going to put up +6 and let it run to +8, and at the +8 you decide that he's kicked the ball away, how many times have we heard PGMOL justify their decision making that, the referee doesn't want to ruin the game? Well, guess what? The referee fucking ruined that game.
You had sent me something during the game. Do you have that with you? It was a quote from last season. I think it was from Howard Webb, and it was Michael Oliver, right? Ref in the game. Go. I'll let you read it.
Absolutely, dude. It was shout out to Patrick Timmons, dude. On X, he posted basically right immediately after that, saying that just a reminder that Michael Oliver is the same referee who didn't give Kovacic a second yellow at the Emirates last season because he didn't want to ruin the game. There's a clip of it going around. It's Howard Webb justifying it. You remember that game? There was the one where he kept sliding, right? He slid at Declan Rice. He slid at Odegaard, and then they justified it that he's going on. He's lucky there. He's lucky there, but the referee doesn't want to ruin the game. So the inconsistency, the justifications. I think my biggest takeaway from this game, Stephen, is that when you are a real big club, this is the treatment that you get. This is what a real big club experiences, young man.
It was disgusting. I gotta say, man, my personal reaction, like, that was absolutely disgusting. I could not believe that. I could not believe it. And I'm watching the replays. My first thought, honestly, was it's because he kicked the ball away. Because the way he smashes it, and he immediately like reaches for his pocket, and then within the group chats, within the commentary, like start reviewing the foul. And to me, it's like, we've seen these fouls kind of throughout the game. There were some heavy tackles in the first 10 minutes. There were some real heavy ones. They went punished with fouls, but no yellow cards. The referee has set the precedent at that point, right? Would I say this Trossard one was nastier than any of those others? No. And it's Trossard, so it's not nastier because he's a small dude. It's not that bad. He pulls out the yellow card. I mean, it's just, the game was turning into a really good game. It was turning into a really good matchup. Destroyed the second half. Okay? Absolutely destroyed it. It was an ugly second half. Hard to watch. If you're a neutral watching this game, I'm sure that was disgusting to see. But I really am. I think it's shameful that he gave that. It makes no sense. It is not even a borderline. If you're giving it for kicking the ball away, to me, that's not even like a borderline thing. You made the decision. You wanted to impact the game. You did that. Everyone's obviously quoting the Doku one where Doku kicked it away. You could hear our away fans screaming. A couple of our players raised their hands like, hey, he didn't do it. You set the precedent, right? I guess not. If you're a big club, you get those decisions against you. And if you're a big club in North London wearing red, you're always going to get those against you.
This is it, dude. This is the treatment that you get. And I mean, even the neutral fans, man, it's actually so gross to see these people like embracing this point for City. I haven't seen anyone talk about like how bad they were. Honestly, it took them it took them like 60 minutes to break down 10 men, dude. And like this is your king? Are you kidding me? And all these people are just hating on Arsenal, calling my manager a football terrorist for parking the bus. What's he supposed to do, bro? When you keep putting him in these situations, he has to park the bus, man. So it's sad. I mean, it's one thing to have like hate for I suppose another team, but it's another thing to just be chatting like this, like putting the Arsenal performance down, putting the Arsenal team down, celebrating a City point. Like, City's still top of the league, dude. Okay, 115 charges. We're still figuring it out. So what are you celebrating? I don't understand. You don't have the big club mentality, young man. You just don't.
So let's get into the second half then. At halftime, Bukayo Saka was subbed off. Ben White was put on. I think I would have preferred Martinelli to come off at the time. I know I texted you. But maybe, Saka's been playing a lot of minutes. I don't know if he's injured or not. Bringing on the extra defender is not an issue for me at that point at all, though. I'm for it. So whether it's always going to be an outside wing, right? When you're going to put on a fifth defender, it's always going to be an outside winger. So no problem. Ben White comes on. I thought he had a good performance. But we locked in. Absolutely locked in. I think that was probably the first 10 minutes. I was getting worried because we were giving them a ton of space. But that lasted throughout the whole half. And I guess the longer it went on, the more comfortable I was with it because they weren't doing a damn thing. City did not know what to do. I was so surprised. The commentators kept saying it over and over. Like, well, what's Pep thinking? What's he going to do here? This can't be his instructions. It's like, I just don't think they knew what to do. We're too good at it. Like, we are so good at that. They didn't know what to do. The amount of long shots Diaz, Kovacic, Walker had, they're begging for a deflection. They are just absolutely begging for a deflection. Player of the season, Phil Foden comes on, does fuck all, doesn't do anything. I mean, we talk about being proud of the team. Like, we got some dogs, man. Like, we dogged that game out. It just didn't get over the line. I think all of our subs, Kibior, shout out to him. There was the last 10 minutes, I saw Haaland just absolutely being a petulant. He was going at Kibior, man. He was pulling him, pushing him. It was kind of crazy, but he's going at Kibior, probably thinking he's our weak spot. But I mean, Jesus, he won a few big balls. I do think he's at fault for that really late corner, which is an absolute shame when his boot came off. He should have put it out, and I don't know what he's doing, but he did win the ball off of, who was it? Off of Grealish? Who was playing off the right? Or no, it was off Silva, excuse me. He went off Silva a few times. So, I mean, all the subs did well. It's just, well, give me your thoughts on the second half.
Dude, I'm with you. I think the first 10 minutes, for the first 10 minutes actually passed pretty quickly. I looked up and it was 55th minute, and I mentioned that, like, oh wow, 10 minutes are already gone, right? I had a little bet on the game pre-hand. I saw Arsenal were heavy underdogs, dude. Heavy underdogs. Like, put some respect on my club, bro. They had us at like plus 390. So I was like, all right, well, I'll have some fun with this. I'll take the boys. And I just kept kind of checking for the cash out amount as the second half was going on, right? It was like 10 minutes have passed. What's the cash out? 10 more minutes. What's the cash out? 10 more minutes. All right. Once I saw Kiwi were coming on, that's when I cashed out because I thought Phil Foden's coming on. Kiwi was coming on. Let's cash this out. Let's hope we get a draw. And I'm very proud of the team, dude. I do struggle with why Bukayo Saka got subbed. There has to be an injury or something involved with it. Maybe on the other hand, that the manager thinks most of their threat is going to be from that side, from Martinelli's side, because Timber against Doku. I mean, what did Doku do? Nothing. Whoever else you put on the right side, Benny Blanco and Timber on your right side, you feel very confident. So I think maybe that's why he kept running out Martinelli. I've already seen people saying, that's why you keep playing Martinelli. But I couldn't disagree with that more. There were a couple of chances where he had to give us a breather, and he just couldn't. He kept losing the ball. There was one where I think Walker just booty checked him, dude, and took the ball away from him. Like, that's soft, Gabriel Martinelli. That's fucking soft.
I know which one you're talking about. It was in the corner, and he had it. It was a great ball by Rice, I think, and he got between Walker and the ball. And I don't know how he lost that. Like, he's in between the ball and Walker, and somehow Walker touches it, and Gabby kicked it out. Oh my goodness, man! Oh my goodness! I saw a stat on X, and this is something you kind of touched on a little bit. So second half ended up being you have to play for 55 minutes, and it's from Opta. It's on X. The ball was in play for 35 minutes in the second half, the most of any Premier League game this season. 35 minutes in the second half, the most of any Premier League game this season. And then you want to ask, why are Arsenal players dropping like flies? That's probably why.
And the disrespect to say that they're faking a cramp to get a breather in the 80th minute. Everyone who fell was subbed off.
Facts.
So, like, if you're faking it, then why are we subbing them?
Facts.
And then on top of that, dude, that's an impressive stat that you shared. I didn't realize that, but yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I mean, City, the whole time, second half, I was watching it. Every time he went to Diaz, I just kept saying, shoot it. And he did, dude. Shout out to him. He took a couple of just screamers thinking they're going to go. There was one where it was so great. His right foot hit the ball before his left foot hit it, and it just went wide. It was brilliant. But the second half, dude, the one player I have to give a huge shout out, man. Easily our best player of the season, David Raya. Another great performance from him. Some of the saves, the volley from Guardiola that he saved, that was amazing. The way, so I'm watching the game with Ron, who's a City fan, and he was saying, Holland, can you just like go back post and we whip it to you? Well, they did do that the last like 15 minutes. And every time my goalkeeper came out and said, it's my box, bro. I'm collecting these. And it's just brilliant, dude. We really got a goalkeeper, bro. We got a goalkeeper.
We have a keeper. He's man of the match for me. It's not even really a question about it. He is the man of the match. Huge. That one on Gvardiol was big. I think there was that deflection. There was a deflection on one, and I think Phil Foden was kind of getting there close. He kind of claimed it. There was that, I'm going to call it a double save. It wasn't really, but where he saved it, popped up. He had to catch it in the air afterwards. The crosses, maybe that's what City, why they had no game plan, is because they were told not to cross it on him. And they took that to heart and said, we're not going to cross the ball. We're just going to shoot outside the box. Because, yeah, he did claim a few. And every time he claims it, guess what he's going to do? He's going to drop on the ground on his belly. And maybe that's where the 7 minutes came from. I don't really know. I mean, I guess you can give it for the injuries. But again, 35 minutes in play, the most of the season and a half. And we're doing it with 10 men. I think that was prevalent on the last goal. Do you not? I think that last goal, we did not get out there because of how dog tired we were.
Yeah, I think if you watch King Kai, the way he puts a lot of blame on himself, I think, for that goal a little bit. He definitely gives too much space to Grealish, who is a good player, by the way. Like, he created that. So, some respect there. Definitely. I think tiredness, definitely feeling like it's the last kick of the game, right? This is the last kick of the game, and let's just get in position. And that was another thing where the opposition slowly started to realize we can't just dump the corners in. Like, they will either head it or their goalkeeper will they had to go short. So I think the tiredness definitely played a factor in that goal. I also, Kiwior blocks the goal. You know, the shot, I think he's the one who blocks it, and then it falls to their player. I almost thought David Raya saved it because it hit his foot. Like, he does something with his feet, you know? and he goes to the top of the roof when it goes in. Ah, man. If he saved that, that would have been incredible. But definitely the tiredness. I mean, it was one of those situations. TP5, by the way, the second half, he played on a yellow. The whole second half, he played on a yellow. There were times when I was thinking, can you bring J20 on? But you couldn't. It was raining out there, bro. You can't bring on J20 when it's raining. We know that. We know that on this pod.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, that last corner, I think it was that moment of, I'm a runner, and it's like when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and once you're on a long, I'm talking about you're on a long run. You're at the end of the tunnel, and you've run it hard, and you're gassed. You're just like, I just got to see myself get across. I can't sprint it out, but let me just get across. I kind of think that's one of those moments here. So it ended up being 90 plus 8, where they scored, plus 7 on the board. We see it. We're there. That ball gets played short. There's 3 players. I think there's Kai, it's Partey, and it's somebody else. They're slow to get to Grealish. No one is going out to Kovacic there. No one's even close, which is the one I think we needed, somebody there. If he's not able to get that clean shot off, which is deflected, it's over. And then John Stones is lucky enough to just be standing there. Raya almost saved that. I'm telling you, he almost had that ball, man. He's facing his own goal because he's already on the ground. He threw up his arm. He almost had it. That would have been incredible. City ecstatic to get their draw. Mentality monsters getting the draw against 10-man Arsenal through the roof. Tough, man. Tough. I still think in a just world, of course, we get it. End the day, I hope I wake up tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be happy with the 1 point. Think of the run we just had. Tottenham, Atalanta, City. If you told me we're going to get the 1 win, 2 draws out of that, I think we're sitting pretty because the next run of games is much, much easier and preferable to us. And what we just went through, I think, is a big team building moment as well.
Absolutely. You would have loved to see the 3 points. I think that would have had even a bigger impact on the players' confidence to go to the Etihad, to not have Martin Odegaard, to not have Mikel Merino. I still haven't seen this guy play football for my club, dude. So I think there's a lot to be still excited about. And yeah, dude, the way they celebrated, you seen this clip going around of Haaland throwing the ball at Big Gabby's head? I mean, these guys are children, dude. They're a bunch of privileged private school kids, and they are just on my nerve with their silly behavior. I'm so tired of their behavior, dude. It's disrespectful. They are the biggest sore losers in this league. You've seen Kyle Walker not shake people's hands after he loses. Like, you are a child, and I am tired of it. And we're not going to get over the hump until we have consistent officiating, until we have an official verdict as to what's going on behind the scenes, and until we have our fully healthy squad. I mean, for this game in particular, Timber went down. When he went down, and we had already brought on Calafiore, we had already brought on Kiwior, we had already brought on Benny Blanco. I saw Timber getting here. I literally thought, well, who are we going to bring on now? Like, I would have loved it to be Tommy. Tomiyasu gets in this game, okay? But instead, we had to put in Miles Lewis Skelly. Who, by the way, I think he gets in because Mikel thinks, I love this kid's passion. This kid just got a yellow card. I've never seen a player come on a game with a yellow card already. That was the first time I've witnessed that.
I've never seen a player get on, basically hasn't played the season. No minutes. He got a yellow card before even coming on. Get the man on the field. Come on now. He's ready for this. He's ready for the moment. Shout out to him. He had one clearance. I know he had one clearance. He had actually a cool moment where he was good on the ball, got it back to Gabby, let him clear it. Again, we talked about Waneri coming on against Spurs. It's a tough moment for a kid to come on. 1-0, trying to hold the lead. Tough moment for this kid to come on in the back line, of all things. I think he did well for himself. Yeah, it wasn't much time, but he did have a few moments. So that's good for him. And I got to give you the credit for talking about these petulant. That's a petulant opponent, man. I can't believe how many times they get around the referee. If we're doing letter of the law, like why are we allowed to do that? It is just constant. I've never seen Bernardo Silva talk to anybody more than the referee. It's crazy how much these dudes are in their ear. I didn't know Kyle Walker was their captain until he called them over. It's crazy. All game, every single moment, every action, they're in their ear. I would love that to be held up if we're going to hold up kicking the ball, a second after the whistle's blown. This is, what's funny about this City game. This is very reminiscent of the other red card game we had where we actually lost it. And it was a Rodri late winner. You remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
Where I think we felt good about it. We played well. I want to say we even outplayed them in that game. This is kind of the same thing where I think we outplayed you, but you are saved by other beings other than the ones that are actually the 22 players on the field. There were other actions in the game that got the result the way it is. And it's just a shame. It is a shame. It's an absolute shame.
It is, Steven, because it's beyond it's being like, oh, you have allegiance, so this is your opinion, because it's not, right? I have a friend who is a Real Madrid supporter, born and raised, okay? And this guy texts me today during the game saying, City complaining like little beaches. I like that. And then he said, so annoying. Just trying to rattle the ref so he pulls a red at some point. This is a Real Madrid player who doesn't care about the Premier League. He's just watching this game because obviously it's the biggest game of the season. And these are his opinions. And I responded to him saying that they had changed this rule, I thought, of players surrounding the ref. And he responded, yeah, Madrid got 5 yellows yesterday for non-captains talking to the ref. Yet here City, yellow card free after surrounding the ref multiple times. This is what I mean with the PGMOL and the Match Center X accounts. Like, I have eyes, bro. And they work, man. They work just fine. Don't tell me my eyes aren't seeing correctly. I don't like that.
They walk themselves straight into these conspiracies, don't they? It's like they just walk themselves into it.
It's too easy, dude. It's too easy. It's gotten to the point where it put the Arsenal game aside, right? I mean, obviously we've already gone almost an hour on this beat, so I think we're kind of good with the game. But put that all aside. Yesterday on Saturday, I've seen this clip going around of Vicario, the Tottenham goalkeeper, outside of the box, handling the ball twice, dude. And it goes unpunished. And it's like, bro, we have the video. You have the video assistant referee. That's what it stands for, right? Why didn't the ref go and look at it? There is just... there is no answer to these things, Steven, and that's the fucking problem.
I hate those. That's one of the ones where, I mean, it's awful that he missed it in real time. Absolutely awful. I think that's something that doesn't make any sense that he missed it in real time. But I don't like the fact that, well, it's a yellow card, so he can't go review it because it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card offense. So sorry. That's what it is. To me, that's one of those things where you don't even need to go look at someone that's watching the game with a replay. Like, yo, he touched the ball outside the box. You need to give him a yellow card. Like, it's simple as that. Don't need to waste any time. It's there in front of God and everybody. We can all see. Okay? So just make the call. I think other leagues, they do that. Or they go to the monitor and like, oh, it's the dive. I'm going to take away your yellow card. You actually didn't touch him. So I don't understand why other leagues do this thing, and he's just become universal. But yeah, that Vicario thing doesn't make any sense to me.
It's pure silliness, dude. It's just silliness, man. It's by the letter of the law, Steven. It's what we have, man. And I guess get used to it. Like I said, this is the big club treatment that we can expect. And I mean, this was a pretty action-packed weekend overall. If I go to recap it really quickly, as of right now, the table is Manchester City at first with 13 points. They're being trailed by Liverpool and Aston Villa, both with 12 points. And Arsenal are sitting fourth place with 11. It's surprising to see Chelsea sitting in fifth place with 10 points. They've been on a good little run, man. I gotta give a shout out where it's a footballing pod, dude. They've been winning games. They've been playing well. Nicholas Jackson is scoring. So things are happening on that side. Newcastle dropped points to Fulham. Did you catch that game? 3-1 to Fulham. Reece Nelson scored. Smith Rowe scored. Iwobi with an assist. Shout out to the Arsenal boys. Finally, Newcastle's luck runs out, man.
Finally, yeah, they're sitting in sixth. Yeah, those Fulham. I watched the highlights of that. That Smith Rowe goal was something almost like I've seen it before, man. That's very reminiscent of goals we've seen. So good for him. Like that was sweet.
It was, dude. If I look at some of the other action, Liverpool got pretty lucky, man, with that 3-0 job. Bournemouth were up for it, and they had a goal call back for offside that would have given them the lead like 10, 15 minutes into the game. But then after that, to be fair, Liverpool just ran away with it. So you can expect goals from Liverpool. I'm going to say it over and over and over. I think they have some real good forwards, man. And even Darwin Núñez is hitting bangers. He put one with his left foot that hit the post and went in. It was actually incredible.
Huge. So sitting at fourth with Arsenal, 2 draws in 2 games where we got red cards. Basically had to play 45 minutes in both of those. I'm cool with it. Odegaard out is tough, but what a resilient bunch, man. What a resilient bunch. If you look at the games coming up as well, it is a little bit of relief, which I'm happy about. It's very much relief. Got Leicester in the next Premier League game. The next 3 is Leicester, Southampton, and Bournemouth. That's a good run. I think Bournemouth is always kind of a tricky one, but compared to what we've seen already in the first 4 or 5, that is definitely relief. And then you throw in an FA Cup game and PSG in there as well. So I'm feeling good by mid-October then. I expect this to still be kind of in that, I'm going to say top 3 group, basically. I don't know who's going to fall off, but, let's see what happens with everybody else. Hopefully Newcastle keeps dropping, Chelsea keep dropping, and those boys over in Liverpool stop scoring.
Yeah, we'll have to see, man. And the run, you're right. It is kind of favorable, mostly also because the next 4 games are all at home. That's exciting. Like after the week that we've had, we're hosting Bolton, we're hosting Leicester, we're hosting PSG, we're hosting Southampton. That will be nice to kind of get back into a rhythm, hopefully. Still not sure about the sort of status of the injuries, but also not too bothered by it at this point. I think we'll figure it out. This game in particular should give everyone a huge boost. Like we can go to the Etihad. We can be up 2-1. We can defend for 55 minutes with 10 men without our captain, without our newest signing. So those things are, those are the positives to take away from this, and a lot to be proud of. Before we wrap up here, I just want to give a shout out to the ladies of Arsenal who started out their season as well today in the Women's Super League. They also played Manchester City. They also drew 2-2 to Manchester City. So shout out to the ladies. I think it's really great that they've started out on this positive note. They struggled against Manchester City last season. I think they lost both games. So this is a super, super positive start for them. And hey, we'll be covering them as we go, as we do, just sharing their results and their updates as they become available. So anything else you want to get on the pod, dude?
Just one more time. This is the raw and uncut. You think we're going to be dropping this week or no? Another?
Another one is possible, dude. I'm at my parents' house right now, who they are loving Prison Break. I guess that's a new show that they've just been crushing. They're like 50 episodes in. So, but I'll be around. Maybe, I don't think we'll do a Bolton preview pod, but maybe we'll have a podcast after the Bolton game, looking ahead to Leicester. I know you should be with me, so that's exciting too. And yeah, it's all good vibes. The listeners know our schedule is kind of unpredictable, but we appreciate everyone for listening as always.
So that's enough of the raw and uncut. I mean, I think one thing to say is just proud of the boys. I think it's a good point. If anything, this kind of gets everybody solidified together. Hopefully the fan base. The one thing I've seen, and I would like it to kind of, we could look elsewhere, is we always seem to be scapegoating our boy Partey. That's kind of the one scapegoat right now, I think, without Odegaard in the lineup. Heck, even with it in the lineup, I think. But we're finding our way. We're finding our footing. A lot of our players are really dogging it for us. Kai, Rice, Partey had a huge game. Our outside backs. Everybody's really shining right now. Personally, I think we're doing it for each other, doing it for the group. It's big things happening for us. I don't see us dropping levels, man. I really don't.
I agree with you. And the message on the pod has rightfully been, have no fear. Because what I saw out there today, I saw players with no fear. Actually, where I saw the fear was on the players wearing blue. Because the way they celebrated, it was a team saying, we know what these guys are capable of. And this point is huge for us in this title race. So take that with you. Enjoy your week. We will hit you at some point as everything else unfolds. For now, thanks as always for spending time with us. Thanks for tuning in. Drop a rating, drop a review, do all the things that you know we appreciate. And we will see you on the other side.
Be easy.